No. All right. Oh dear. And I can hear myself. This is weird. And I froze already. Wow. So bizarre. Oh my goodness. Well, this isn't working. I can't win with this thing. Oh my goodness. And I have a hungry cat. So I don't even know how to end this because this isn't working. Hey Heathery, we're gonna have to try a different way because this I don't know what's going on. Okay. I mean, at least I can see myself this way. I don't know why it redirected to YouTube. Give me just a sec. I don't have to end it. Oh my God. What a fun day this has been. For no one, I'm sure. Or everybody. I'm not certain. But you know what? Welcome. Welcome to the Messengers. Give me just a sec while I mute over here. Why it redirected to YouTube? Give me just a sec. I don't have to end it. All right, there we go. Okay, and I can see the chat. This is fantastic. Yay! Okay. Yeah, it wasn't wanting to double play because Zoom decided that it wanted to redirect me over to YouTube to watch myself and the chat. Meanwhile, it was running in Zoom at the same time. Technology. I don't, whatever. I'm here. And flying solo tonight. And I do apologize to everyone. We're not going to have any music tonight. Unfortunately, my internet provider isn't fast enough for me to be able to do it and be able to run off my computer. So I'm coming to you live solo from my iPad. I'm watching the chat room. I got a message for you guys as well. I'm going to give some free readings to you for anybody who's in the YouTube chat. So while I'm doing that one, if you're looking for a reading at some point while I'm live, because as soon as I see the chat room go silent, I'm going to say goodnight if I'm done with everything that I need to say and give to you guys. Thanks so much for showing up. I'll go ahead and tell you that next Monday, Carrie and I are going to be celebrating our birthdays because we're both Aquarians. She's on the 1st, I'm on the 7th, and we have a special guest coming up that Monday. Her name's Janet Morrison. She's a friend of mine, and she's another coach. One of her specialties is life path numerology. And she's going to be joining us to give free readings for your life path numbers, and she'll tell you how to figure that out. And if not, you just tell her your birthday and year, and she will give you a mini read right there during the show. So I'm really looking forward to that. She's excited. She's such an amazing person, and I can't wait to bring her to you guys so that you can experience that. Okay. All right, Nikki, I will get to you, I promise. And I am going to be looking away from the camera because I don't have in front of me the reading. Of course, I did type it up. All right, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to stop babbling and I'm going to give you some useful advice from the cards. All right. Started off with Hathery's favorite deck, as usual. Let me minimize the screen just a little bit over here so that I can also see you guys. All right. Okay. Ready? Here we go. We're going to start off with Beauty Way. And what this is going to start off with is what you're seeing, reality or imaginary. Are you actually seeing what's in front of you or an image of how you perceive things to be? This can go in many different directions depending on your circumstances. I know some of you are convinced that the way things are is how they are always going to be. I know others who just see the brighter side of things when their world is falling apart around them. Let me move the camera so that every time I hit the table, it doesn't make me bounce. There we go. All right. So when things feel like they're falling apart and won't get any better, it's vital to be able to see the beauty in the situation. Tough to do for sure, right? So what do you need to see in others in order to get through? What small actions can you take to make things happen to help your journey? Because our perception is our reality. And if we see beauty, we have a better chance at a better experience, even through the turmoil and chaos. Now, this needs to stay inwards. You can't fix somebody's mindset, nor should you actually try. That is their journey. Living your truth acts as a mirror to them, and if they choose to do so, will live more by your example and less by force. Don't toy with other people too. That typically comes to bite back eventually. So, next up, we got Wild Woman. We've seen her before. We've actually seen all of these guys before, but they're just coming up with different things to bring you today. So Wild Woman, freedom is a feeling that comes from within. It does not appear from an external source. This stems from the card asking you to be authentic, your authentic self, and experience the fine feeling of freedom. You have a light within. Others may have created the opportunity for it to be dimmed, but did not actually cause it. This is hard to understand when there are words or acts of cruelty that at the surface appear differently. You caused this type thing, you know? They gave the opportunity. Tough to swallow when it's in your face and you realize they didn't directly make you feel that way. Not even a highly trained hypnotist can cause that. The brain will not allow you to feel any particular way you haven't given direct permission to. So with all that said, what's plaguing your mind? The rampant parts that are preventing you from being your true self. Do you feel like there are constant barriers to your happiness, or are you experiencing the fluidity of life? One thing to keep in mind is that no feeling that any human being has is ever permanent, not even happiness or hope. Each and every emotion we have is the result of the wild, rampant, and fluid stream of thoughts in our mind. So don't get caught up in making things different, or difficult, rather. Keep things easier for you. Simplify. Recognize the patterns you're in, or the patterns that you block. You'll see things differently once you do. All right. The ancient ones. You'll probably be able to guess who came to mind first off when I saw this card before I even looked to see what it had to say. But I won't say any names here. But I'll be interested to see if you guess who I was thinking of. Oh, this one's pointing very directly at those in charge. The ones who have been given rank in our lives to dictate how things should be. There is so much going on as a result of this energetic reality that it can cause someone to spin. Not the only thing the card is pointing to, but know that there is a higher plan going on in the world that we aren't aware of. And events must occur in order to get to where we are going. Whatever authority figure came to mind with that is where you need to go in your thoughts. So remember to be true to you and remember to be you. So let's go a little deeper in this card. It's asking you to look at your, I just saw the chat. Yes. Going a little deeper, this card is asking you to look at your actions and thoughts. Are they in your highest integrity? Are they echoes of how you were raised? Are they responses to how you feel? Are they even in your conscious mind? There it is. That's the part it's pointing to. Some of what we do is ingrained at a genetic and ancestral level. Are you bound to traditions of old? Maybe. So if you continuously have the same problems with, and it looks like, feels like something all too familiar at a familial level, well, guess what? Time to let that go. You are your own person. You really are. You are your own person. The ancient ones did the best with what they knew. Only you can break that cycle. All right. Up next, we got the blade. We've seen this guy before, and the message is kind of the same as it usually is. So are your actions out of reactions or responses to how you feel? Don't cut off anyone just because you've been out of shape. It's a misunderstanding that the two or more of you are having. In this time period, excuse me, emotions are high and people are ready to fight. Some to the death because they are so passionately connected to how they feel. Put the knife down. Put it away. You're seeing the whole picture at this point because you're so attached to the emotions you're feeling about the situation. If you need to cut cords or ties with people, that's one thing. Once the smoke is cleared and the anger subsided, make the decisions with a calm mind. The blade can either be used to harm or heal. Use it with the precision of a surgeon, not with the vengeance of a life taker. Further, you may feel powerless, but the energies are aligned right now to change that if you choose to see it. Middle world. The world of the mundane, the place in between heaven and earth. When things are right with those, things move freely. When they're out of sync, it's time to make things right. Someone is stuck in the middle of a situation and feeling torn. Staying true to you first is the most important. Some religions say that it's not up to us to judge others because that will be dealt with when they meet their maker. I don't need to tell you which religion that is, but I'm not going to say it either. Can't fix on earth what needs to be handled by the heavens. And conversely, where's my spot? What the heavens are trying to correct in the earth can't be done with the axe of the middle. Now, that makes no sense and sounds like absolute nonsense while making sense and not sense at the same time, even to me. But that's what came through. I'll tell you again. What the heavens are trying to correct in the earth can't be done with the axe of the middle. That will reveal itself later on to someone via whatever. So take it for what it's worth. So anyway, back to you. If you're having trouble and feel like you're in the middle, best not to do anything. You're not ready and don't have the resources to handle it. Just keep going. You'll pick up what you need to when it's time. Keep asking for the assistance from the unseen to guide you and get you to where you need to be to do what you need to do. And I said, all right, journey. Okay, it is not the ending. It is not the end goal. It is not something to be taken lightly or ignored. The best parts of life are the parts of the journey to get to where we need to get to. And this includes going through chaos, hurt, or hell. Can't learn from mistakes you don't make. Also, can't get to where you want to go without going. If you're feeling the call to go somewhere else, stop making the excuses you've been making to get there. Start the journey. Reel in the anchors of comfortable fear that have kept you on the shore looking out into the horizon. Oh, there's some of you. I don't want to leave where I'm at. Then don't. This refers to that too. The need to take the inward journey is just as important. You see, someone you wish you could become in your mind. The journey to that person is what will transform you into that person. Let's think about that a little bit more. If you woke up tomorrow with everything you had hoped for in your journey to life, you assume that you'd be the happiest person in the world, right? But for how long? And would you really appreciate it or know what to do with it? then the happiness may shift away to frustration because you would have to learn everything you could have learned during the journey to it. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. All right. So that's the collective. And I'm going to take a moment to catch up on the chat real quick, see what's going on. Let's see. Make that go away. Yes, Carrie is typing. I am not typing because I cannot multitask that well. I can barely look off screen and look back to you guys. So, all right. I got Nikki Heathery. Can you type when your birthday is? Because I'd like to know what Aquarius you are. And Carrie was one tonight. She can't be on air with me for me to get on to her directly, so she gets to hide behind her keyboard. All right, I'm going to start with Nikki. Hello, Miss Damaris. We have another Nikki. So and Desmere or Maris? I don't know. I apologize if I just butchered your name. It looks French. It could be Mere. I don't know. So, oh, you know something fun while I'm doing this, getting ready for Nikki? I just discovered on my TikTok that I have the live option on my uploads now. I may have to look into that. Oh, Nikki's nuts. Hey, girl. How you doing? So glad to see you. Oh, well, that one didn't want to pop out. We're asking for Nikki. Not Nikki's nuts, but Nikki. All right. What do I got? Not surprised. At all. Okay. For Nikki Lou, we're going to start you off with the Hermit. And I heard something interesting about the Hermit, especially for us Aquarians lately. You know, there's a lot going on internally that the external world is affecting, and it's causing us to feel like we need to go within a little bit more and stay away from the outside world when the outside world is kind of scary right now and we don't exactly know how to deal with it. Well, that's the problem. Because all of us Aquarians right now, and I don't want anybody else to get too caught up in their astrological sign because I really only know Aquarian. Sorry. But anyway. All right. I'm trying to watch the chat and tell you guys this too. So don't get too caught up in trying to hide from the world. It's a good place to be when you really need to reflect and go within and figure out what it is that you need to figure out. But sometimes in order to finish figuring out what it is that you need to do, you got to get out. Two of Wands talks directly about this because sometimes we just leave behind what it is that we are trying to get away from. And, you know, riding one, got one in the feet, carrying one in the beak from the fire. Sometimes you got to get a little bit creative in order to get to where you want to go. And creativity is not just painting, singing, writing poetry. Creativity is thinking outside the box so that you can get back to what you want to get to sooner. And I know you know what I'm talking about without talking about it. Nine of Swords. I love the image that Maggie uses on this one because it's a mirror reflection. Do you want what the world sees to be the absent part of you or not? That's the question it has. And that's all that it's going to say to me tonight. So I hope that helped. I hope that gave a little bit of light on what you wanted to hear or needed to hear. Because I know you like to hermit up. It is a creepy pick, Hathery, isn't it? But it's one of my favorite cards, and the way that it's depicted, because it's almost like, are you really doing what it is that you need to be doing to get to where you want to go? Or are you just a shell of yourself trying to get there? All right. Hathery, Hathery, Hathery. And just in case you didn't hear enough from your friends, they want to talk to you again. Maybe your favorite card will come out again. I don't know. What's on your heart? What's on your mind? What's going on? Let's see what they want to tell Hathery. Now, see, this is kind of fun for me because typically I do these during the music set. So I have this is completely off the cuff, and whatever comes out, and I don't have time to correct it. So far, only one card has fallen to the floor, which I'm going to have to go off camera to get. Oh, this one's fun. And a favorite. Drum. I'll hold it closer so you can see it. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I just opened a song today that you need to join because it just popped into my head. Listen to your heart. And it's to the beat of a different drum because it's a remix version. We know that your life you beat to the beat of a different drum. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. But you don't listen to it. It's very bizarre for you because the mask that you put on is actually who you are. So why is it a mask? You live your life to the beat of a different drum, but it's through the mask that you put on to reveal who you are, thinking that you're revealing something that you would rather be when that's actually who you are. I don't understand. Hey, Ash, I saw you come in. What? I'm having a conversation with you like you're sitting right in front of me. Seriously. Who you express yourself to be is who you are. It's not something that you're hiding behind. It's who you are. I got nothing else. Maybe I'll come back later. But for now, no. Oh, scanning the chat, scanning the chat. Oh, Carrie, you're up next. I'm not scanning your energies. We had a conversation earlier, but no, I don't need to feel any of that. Cards one second. Ooh, Nick Dees. Wow. I'd be happy to give anybody a reading. As long as you're asking, as long as you're talking to me in the chat, I will be on here. I got nothing else to do except eat dinner, which I don't do until after the messengers anyway. All right. Gary, you're getting Vision Quest. Oh, good grief. It wants to explode on you. I don't have time for that. Come on, tone it down. Oh, now they're just being stubborn. Ain't got nothing to say. You don't want to talk about Carrie? Oh, there we go. Ooh, you got another favorite Aquarian card in the readings that are going around YouTube right now. Won't you be happy about that? Anyway, but that's not what we're starting. We're starting with Nine of Air, which is a sign of hurt. Do you know that part of my partial sleeve tattoo is based on the Nine of Air? I'll show it to you sometime. Not now. Like a typical Aquarian, carrying around the hurt that we've experienced throughout the course of our lives, wearing it like a reward medal for all to see. And sometimes it appears in physical form for us to deal with so that we can actually release it. I know you know what that's referring to right now. What does what mean? Oh, got Knight of Cups. Feel free to type away about that. That's fun. But seriously, the hurt we carry around. We don't have to carry it around. We understand what it is that we've gone through. And I can say we because this applies to both of us. We don't have to carry it around. We don't have to wear it like a proud scar to just talk about. We've been through it. We know what it caused. And we're rising from it so that we can get to where we want to go and do what it is that we're being called to do. This was the card I was referring to. The star. The thing we wish upon. The thing in the sky that we look to when we're needing the inspiration. Reaching out beyond ourselves. Realizing that we have that inner light shining. And all we got to do is amp it up. I mean, I could sit here with toxic positivity and throw it at you all night long and say, oh, well, just change your mindset. You'll have a better life. While true, I'm not going to deny that that's true. It's also complete and utter bullshit because life happens. And there are times, there are things in life that happen that cause that internal light to be dimmed. And if we hold on to it like that nine of air with the hurt, if we hold on to it, then it's even harder for us to let it go and let that light shine again and burn through those things that we're holding on to. But it does give us pause to think. But sometimes we get so caught up in our thinking that we don't actually get anywhere until it's mirrored back to us by someone else who sees it. I'm actually going to go into an alpha message that I wanted to share with everybody before I do any more readings, because it's a good segue. Carrie's a segue. Let me take a look at the chat real quick. All right, I'm caught up. Sometimes better out than in. Sometimes better said than written. And I'm talking about when we get into a mental spiral, when we get into too much contemplation and we're thinking too much. Many of us know someone in our life that we can just reach out to. If we're having a mental spiral and we just need to vent to this person, just so that we can hear our voice and sometimes hear the things that we realize once we hear them were silly and it was just a misunderstanding. But knowing that the person isn't going to judge us, think about us differently, and they're just going to hear us, maybe whap us across the side of the head, even virtually, to say, yo, stop, relax, or not to say anything at all, and just allow everything to come out, come through that needs to be said so that it can be worked out. Yes, this applies to me directly recently. But it also, while getting out of the mental spins can be difficult, when I personally have the capability of talking to somebody else that isn't going to think differently about me, allow me to vent, maybe interrupt here and there, but just let it come through, come out, I can hear how, oh my God, blown out of proportion my mind gets. And I can start to realize and start to piece things back together so that I can look at things the way that they need to be looked at and see the growth and potential that I actually do have and where I've come from. Journaling is great, but sometimes it's not enough. Mirror talk is great. Going and having these conversations with yourself in the mirror is fantastic. And it does help because then you can hear yourself, but you're just bouncing it back in. When you're venting to somebody and they're giving you that opportunity and gift, it stops there so that you can look, oh, that's what that meant. Okay. So when you're holding on to things or you get into a mental spiral, sometimes just talking to somebody, hearing what you had to say. And if there's nobody to talk to, don't go to a mirror, sit in the middle of the room, talk out loud, talk to yourself, doesn't matter. Nobody's going to judge you because there's nobody there too. Don't forget to tell yourself, I love you. And say your name. This is a game changer that nobody talks about enough. They don't. When you make the list of all the things that you love and that you're grateful for, you're never at the top of the list, are you? No, you're not taught to be. I'm giving you permission just in case you wanted it. Nikki, I want you to say to yourself, I love you, Nikki. And I want you to say your name. Carrie, I want you to say, I love you, Carrie. Nick D's nuts. Nikki, I want you to say it. Heather, I want you to say it. Mean it. As if you're talking to your best friend, because you are. You're worth being honored, you're worth being loved, and you're worth all of that from you. And it's a huge game changer. Do it at the beginning of the day. When you first open your eyes, oh, good morning, I love you. At the end of the day, as if you were saying goodnight to your partner, I do it. And it makes a difference. It really does. Because there's no better way to remind yourself that you love yourself than saying it directly to yourself. Say it in the mirror. Oh, square in the eyes. Square in the eyes with a big smile. Mean it or not, fake it. Fake it till you make it. Because every day and every way, you're getting better and better. All right. I believe exactly. No one can love you as if you deserve it if you don't even love yourself as you should. Don't should on yourself, though. That's not a should. It's a gift. Love on yourself because you are a gift and not because you should. Yeah, I know, Nikki. I'm so sorry. I hope you have a wonderful night and got the message that you needed. We'll be back next week, normal. I hope. I really hope. All right, Nick, these nuts. Want to say anything to her? You're just going to continue shuffling in my hand. You almost worked through it, but whatever it is continues to haunt you. Because you said you let it go. You thought you let it go. But then the triggers happen and it brings you right back. And you go through it all over again. Progress. There's progress. So I don't want to poo-poo completely on that. I don't know what it is. None of my business. Oh, what was that? Oh. Daughter of Water reversed. She kind of refers to the cuts. Page of cuts. Giving of yourself a little bit too freely, draining your own energies, not honoring what it is that you know a little bit too much. Sensory hit. If you're familiar, I will get sensory input for energetic issues. My left kidney just went a light. So there's some filtering issues with the feminine right now. That could mean a variety of things. But my guess is that there's some maternal nagging, at least residual in the mind of you not doing what you should be doing and shoulding all over yourself. Stop. It gets messy and stinky real fast. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. It leads up to the right, just under my rib cage, in the sacral area, masculine. Now, masculine doesn't necessarily mean man. It's just a forceful. You're supposed to be doing things this way. Why aren't you doing things this way? And Robert starting to raise questions about who you are and where your power is going to and where your energy is going to. That's what Daughter of Water is all talking about. Is paying attention a little bit too much to the feminine nagging of the real you and the masculine pushing of I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more. You're not doing enough, you're not doing enough, you're not doing enough. Give me more, give me more. So put a little bit tighter boundary on who you are and where you're going to give your energy to. Reading the chat. It's kind of funny, Ashley, that you mentioned your inner child, because when I was picking up Daughter of Water, I was actually picturing young girl. Now, card wasn't necessarily for you, but you know what? It might have been, because sometimes we don't pay attention to the inner child that's actually hurting. Now, here's the fun part. You don't actually have to know what the inner child is hurting from or what caused that. No, that's a therapist chain. It's a link in a therapist chain so that you can spend countless hours rehashing, trying to figure out, when all you need to do is love on that inner child. You're safe. Little one, you're safe. The craziest thing, and I've experienced this, but the craziest thing is that when you start loving on the inner child and making him or her feel safe, knowing that they don't have to be afraid of whatever it was anymore, or whatever emotion it was, without knowing, without digging, all of a sudden, you start having all of these breakthroughs and all of these aha moments where it's just like, oh, that's why. Memories just without even looking. So you don't even have to go to a therapist to tell me about your childhood. No, don't. Do you want to relive your childhood over and over and over again until you figure out what that one missing piece is because you tell the story differently every time you tell it? No. So, and if you want to make it a physical thing, give yourself a hug. Imagine that your inner child is in your arms and you just wrap around and you just squeeze and just love. And let them know that they're okay, that they grew up into this beautiful woman, beautiful man. They've accomplished so much, even if they don't feel like they have. They don't have to feel that way anymore. And all of a sudden, you're just going to start realizing that's the turning point. That's what happened. That's when I stopped. And it's literally just wisdom that you can bring into the now so that you don't have to worry about continuing the cycle on. It's kind of amazing. Might hurt a little, but it's kind of amazing at the same time. I'd like to hear more about the brain spotting, because I think I just described that happening. Light changed. Anyway, so Ashley, I haven't pulled for you, but I kind of talked about. Would you would you like a card pulled? Oh, I'm just gonna pull a card. I wish I had that deck, Carrie, so that I could pull one for you. I don't have soul truth. I just have intuitive truth. On whom am I placing blame right now? Oh. I, would you like to tell Ash? Oh, But I already knew this. Ash, 6 of water, known as 6 of cups. There's so much work that you've been doing that lighter, happier, more fulfilling moments are coming your way, and you're actually beginning to notice them like you haven't before. This goes for a lot of people. This could actually be collective because there's a little bit of Carrie in this too, and myself, because especially right now, with energies being what they are, planets aligning, people in authority, wildfires, crazy winter, everything is just nutty right now. The feeling of gratitude, the feeling of happiness, the feelings of fulfillment, and vice versa. But I want to focus on the positive. They are welling up so much joyful expression through tears right now. And that's what this is reminding you of. Just so I don't lose track of why I started talking about that. But it's just all flowing. And it's giving you the opportunity to be able to see more. And it's also bringing back that life force. It's helping you to understand what it is to feel ecstatic again. This gives me the opportunity every single time it comes up, and I will talk about it every single time that it comes up, and it doesn't matter if it's on this show on repeat. The feeling of ecstasy is not just sex, it is the fully, feeling fully, whatever it is, whatever emotion it is, whatever the situation is, you're feeling it fully, you're feeling completely alive, and it's starting to come back when you thought it was gone for so long. Share that with everyone whom you encounter. They need that life force, energy. You don't have to give it to them. This isn't an obligation of, oh, let me help you, let me help you, let me help you. Can I do this for you? Can I do that for you? No, it's you living in your fullest, living in your ecstatic state because you have all this pleasure just overflowing and letting that radiate from you. You have no idea the impact that you can make in the world around you just by living in that feeling. When you are out and about with doing shopping, you smile at somebody, and because of where you're at on an energetic level, that smile goes a little bit deeper than it might have been, and you might just change somebody's day. Yes, cliche, we hear it all the time, but this, I'm serious, it's true. They need that. When you're singing, it comes out. So enjoy it. Enjoy these moments. Like I said in the other reading, and I don't want to downplay or change the tone, but these feelings, they're temporary. All feelings are temporary. The feeling of ecstasy, the feeling of hope, the feeling of grief, the feeling of depression, the feeling of sadness, feeling of lost, they're all temporary. Nothing is permanent. So enjoy the happiness that's welled up. Somebody's going to try and take it away, that something in your life is going to happen. But remember how it feels now, so that all you got to do is switch and you're back. It's that easy. Ask Carrie. She experienced it with me last night. Because I was, and then back. without warning, just back. So it's possible. Just checking the chat real quick. You see me use this cup all the time. There's a reason. Because Papa knows best. It was a gift when I was GM at Domino's years ago. God, I can actually say years ago. I love that. Okay. Well, I invite everyone to move the rest of the conversation back into the Rise main chat. I hope that you've gotten some info, a little bit that you would have gotten with music surrounding. Sorry. One of these days. One of these days. Carrie won't have to rely on me. I won't have to rely on Carrie. We can just do what needs to be done with music whenever. Feels so weird saying that because she's my co-host and producer at the same time. And I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to have internet so I don't have to have it. So I don't want it to come across that way at all. This is kind of weird for me, so I'm a little bit hyper and showing out because of it. Oh, Ash, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. And I fight it because neurons being what they are in the brain. So I get you. I understand. It's one of the reasons why I continue to try and learn new ways, new triggers, or ways to get around the triggers. But I'm going to do a shameless plug. Don't forget that tomorrow we got Rock Rewind with Amelia and Absolute John coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be back on my YouTube channel, unless actually I may start switching and do it over here. I don't know. But it's going to be on YouTube with Phoenix Talks with Diane. We're going to talk about attachment. It's going to be an interesting conversation because it's based on attachment and detachment, and I'm going to have to go soon because my neighbor is downstairs. He just discovered a pile of poo, and it's going to last for an hour. So I got to wrap this up fast. So, oh, shoot. Well, Phoenix Talks, 6 p.m., my YouTube channel. Following that, we will have Will with one of his shows. I think it might be classic rock. I don't know. He might not have enough music for this week, but it may be Honky Tonk Heaven. I'm not sure. So then on Sunday, we have Unplugged with Emilio. Eventually, we're going to have Mission with his new soundtrack show. It's going to be on Thursdays at 7 or 8 p.m. I believe 8 p.m. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. And he might be on Rise Radio over on Zeno.fm. I'm not sure. Wow, there's so much in the air right now. Thank goodness it's not poo here. It's just down there. Ooh. But anyway, thanks guys for hanging out with me. I had a lot of fun, even though I didn't have Carrie in front of me to play off of, and I had to read her. But I love you guys, and check me out on Facebook because I got some stuff going on over there too. If you need a little bit more than just what I did tonight, okay? But I'm gonna go. I love you. And don't forget to rise.